Welcome to the Jour Village Show and Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. DeShonda Jennings, and I'm honored to guide you through conversations that celebrate the power of community, collaboration, and legacy building. On this show, we highlight real-life stories from entrepreneurs, childcare professionals, parents, and leaders who are proving every day that growth happens when we lean on each other. You'll hear practical strategies, inspiring testimonies, and the kind of wisdom that can shift your mindset and move your mission forward. If you're building a business, leading in your community, or simply striving to make a difference, this show was made with you in mind. Welcome to the village, and let's begin. Welcome to the Jour Village Show and Podcast. I am your host, Dr. DeShonda Jennings. Now, I am so grateful that you have joined us for another meaningful conversation. Now, today's episode is part of a special series called The Village of Second Chances. Now, throughout this series, we're sharing real stories of redemption, resilience, and restoration from individuals who have experienced incarceration at some point and are now working to rebuild their lives. Now, I know some of y'all are probably wondering, why are we having these conversations? The answer is simple. Here at the Jour Village Show and Podcast, we believe that no one succeeds or fails in isolation. Behind many people who have overcome incarceration is a village. That village can be a parent, a grandparent, a mentor, a faith leader, an employer, friend, or maybe even a community member that has refused to give up on them. Now, this series aligns perfectly with our mission because it asks one important question. What happens when the village shows up? Today, we're not here to glorify mistakes. We're here to learn from the lived experiences, celebrate transformation, and discover how accountability, hope, and community can change the course of a person's life. So whether you are a parent, an educator, or a business owner, or maybe even a community leader, or someone that's searching for hope, I believe today's conversation will encourage you, yes, you, and remind you that every life has value, every story matters, and every person deserves the opportunity to write a new chapter. Let's welcome today's guest and begin this important conversation. Okay, y'all, we are back. Before we get started, go ahead, look into that camera and tell the guests your name and who you are.
My name is Racquan Hazelwood. I'm an aspiring chef to be, but that's a long journey to that. Well, yeah, I'm here today to tell you a little bit about myself.
Okay, so y'all, first we're going to go ahead and hop into it. So my first question to you, Raquan, is what circumstances or decisions led you down a path that resulted in incarceration?
I feel like that was a sequence of events, like dating all the way back to being younger. Like, my role models I had coming up, they were all, guys that got incarcerated.
Okay.
So then as I continue to grow up, I'm in a shelter household, I'm good. But once I turn 18, I leave that household and I go into the real world. And then my last male role model, my grandpa, he dies. So now I'm just out here, lost. And I guess I just led my way down the wrong path and ended up in prison.
So I'm going to go back to something he said, because a lot of times society, they like to say, oh, you're from the hood, you grew up in the ghetto. Yeah. Like for you didn't have to experience that, right?
Nah, not at all. I grew up with my grandmother and she gave me everything. I've never wanted for nothing. If I wanted a bike, I got a bike. Okay. Like if I wanted to go somewhere, she's going to get me there. So yeah, it wasn't that. People like to put, you grew up in the hood, yes, you're a product of your environment.
Yes.
That's not always true. It's true, but it's not always true. It's two sides to it, I believe.
Now, this is good because some of y'all may not know, and like, honestly, full circle, Raquan and we both grew up in the same household because I am his biological mother. He was raised by my mom, my dad. So this is like proof of one of the things that he said early on, and we're going to keep on going into the interview, but I want us to be as transparent as we can because we talk about how society like to put the blame on, oh, it's the mom, it's the dad, it's where you grew up. Now, we both got the same opportunity. Now, we can be real. You might got a little bit more, but
really
we had that same role model, and I know my dad, I'm a daddy's girl, like we had that same role model. But unfortunately, like he said, not having those other males around, but we're gonna keep on going to this interview, has led him down that path. So let's go into the next question, y'all, because this is like so good. So what was the turning point that made you decide your life could be different?
I kind of always knew it would be different. Like I went to college.
Okay.
You know, like I was always good in school. I went to college for 4 years. So I know the life I had to offer. It's just those mistakes distracted me from it. But I already knew, like, you know, it wasn't a turning point where, oh, I probably could do better. I already knew I could do better. It's just I made mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pause because I'm going to keep saying it because I know what society tried to do. Now, one, he grew up in a household, even though it wasn't a mom and dad, but it was a mom and dad, his grandmother, his grandpa, and he went to college. Yeah. So I know sometimes, as I'm just going to be transparent, they look at our black males and they particularly stereotype us. They don't have no high school education, no college education, living in the hood. And he did not experience any of that. So let's hop into our next question. And you kind of already mentioned it, but who was part of your village during your journey of from the time you grew up, you got incarcerated, and now you're home? Who stood by you? And I already know who stood by you, but the people need to know, like, what was your village when you was going through that transformation?
Family. When strictly family. Like, not even, I guess, honestly, some friends of the family might have reached out. But, like, if it wasn't for you, my grandma, and Bray, I ain't saw to no one. You know, that was my support system.
Okay.
Like, I might have had a cousin or somebody reach out every now and then.
Okay.
But as far as that village that got me through that hard time, I would definitely say my family, the females in my family, that, like.
Ironically, right? The females, we needed the males, but the females is what got him through.
Got me through.
Okay, so my next question is, what challenges, you may not have, but what challenges did you face after you was released? Did you face any challenges?
Yeah, because basically you gotta start all over. Like, I didn't have an ID or anything, so I can't go get a job without an ID. I ain't have my driver's license. I got a car. I can't go get my driver's license because I can't drive to get there.
Hold up. So what happened to your license? Like, did you?
Basically they got missing when my wallet was taken when I got locked up. Like, they were still valid, but I didn't have a physical copy. Okay. And per DOC standard, every inmate that leaves there is supposed to have a physical copy of their ID, birth certificate, and Social Security. They didn't do that for me. Okay. Yeah, it slipped through the cracks, I guess. So I'm out here now with no ID. How much I can't go to the doctor's appointment because I have no identification.
Right, you might be somebody else trying to pull up.
I have no identification on who I am. I go to DMV. Like, it was hard. That was the hardest part. The hardest part. Just like getting everything back that you need: Social Security, ID, car, a job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, so it was a process. Than just even now. I know we didn't mention that, but you're a dad.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Dad. Yeah.
So how did that feel the time you was away from your son?
It was a big difference. Cause, like, you know, we talked a lot, video. He came for a couple visits, but like, even that's limited. You're watched, and you know, when you're on FaceTime with your kid, you got 30 seconds if that, and they're gone. You know, so it was hard. Yeah, it was hard. I can't discipline him. I can't even tell him what to do. He can just walk away from the phone.
That's it, right?
That's it.
That's one thing about the social media. And we're going to ask a couple more questions about the parenting. But, okay, so when you think of it takes a village, what does that mean to you personally? Like, in your own journey of this, like when somebody said, oh, it takes a village, because people say it all the time.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you?
I mean, it takes everyone in your community. Like, and I see this in real world play out, you know?
Okay.
Like, I might be gotta go to work early and Bray will get off late, and I've called, you know, the usual family members. They can't do it. It's just so crazy. Her cousin stays right up the street. Her cousin grandma came one day and just picked both of them up, took them to the park, solved that problem. I'm like, that it takes a village. Yes. She don't really know me, but she knows, you know, his mom. So I'm like, yeah, it takes a village. Like, everybody pitches in when they can, I see.
Right. And a lot of times people are like, oh, your village is your family. But sometimes the village is not even your family. It may be somebody that knows somebody that know who you are.
Yeah.
It's the whole community. So just because you're a parent, it does not mean that you're the only person supposed to do this thing called parent. Because a lot of times we do got parents that think they have to do it by themselves. But I want y'all to know that
you don't.
You don't have to do it by yourself. It takes a village. Like he said, he has a whole job. It may be a time to where you can't get your child off the school bus or something like that. It doesn't mean that you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to ask somebody. I'm not going to go to work. Reach out to your village. You never know. Like sometimes people want to know that it's okay to give help.
And that dates back to generational nations. Like the village raised the children.
Yes.
Literally.
So now we're going to go to our next question. What legacy do you hope to leave behind? Now, you might be still building it. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But what legacy do you hope to leave behind for your son?
I just want him, even for real, physically, something, of course, but I want to instill a destiny in him mentally that he'll be able to pass to his kids when he have them, you know?
Give us an example.
Like being there.
Okay.
Like, granted, I wasn't there, but it wasn't because I couldn't be there.
Right.
I couldn't be there. That's why I wasn't there, you know?
Okay.
But what I'm trying to instill in him is if you got a responsibility, handle it. Like, I was just at the house. I was like, my interview was an hour ago. I gotta go. I gave my word. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, I gotta go. So, like, stuff like that, I feel like that's a thing that I want to instill to him that he'll instill to his kids, you know?
And that's like character. Like
character, yeah.
How people nowadays they say standing on business, but it's like how some people say how you do one thing is how you do everything. I don't know if I agree with that, but I love the thing of this is your character, so people want to know that when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it.
Yeah, and it go a long way.
It definitely would go a long way. That's awesome. Now we got some questions because I know we got some younger listeners, and if you don't mind, do you want to share your age for the people?
I'm 31.
Okay, so the reason why I asked him that, because things like this can happen to anybody. It doesn't have no rhyme or rhythm. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. Life is gonna life. And anybody even getting chance, whatever decision you can make can wind up in a incarceration state. But the main thing is once you go through that, because it's called the village of second chances, I've been through it. I learned something. Now this is what I'm going to do. So, Raquan, looking back, what advice would you give your younger self?
Patience. Like, that's one thing I learned the most in this, patience. Because, you know, when you inside, you can't do nothing but wait until they tell you. So my patience is like through the roof. Like, you know, Papa Charlie.
Yeah.
He was the most patient man ever. And I feel like I'm starting to feel that in me. Because I'm like, I'll sit outside while Bray inside the restaurant for an hour sometimes. I ain't tripping. Oh. And I'm like, my grandpa used to do this.
I can already say that. I remember that. I remember like yesterday, like when we used to go out to eat. And my dad would just sit in the car and we would take our time eating. Yeah. And he was so patient.
Yep. He'll tell you what to bring him back when y'all done.
But I'm telling you, when you ask for patience, God might give you some things. You be like, Lord, I know I wanted patience, but I didn't want it this way.
Yeah.
Just be mindful of that. I'm still working on patience. It's the process.
It is though. And then communication. Like, you know, a lot of the things, like a lot of the violence nowadays is going off is because of miscommunication or lack of communication. And I've been in instances where I've seen them, like, it's just a miscommunication. Y'all here ready to come to blood and y'all talk about two different things.
Yeah.
So, like, communication and patience, man, that's the major thing I would, like, my younger self, communicate better
and that patience.
And listen more and have patience, bro. Because, you know, when you get agitated.
And I still get agitated. That's why I'm still working on patience.
Then it messed the whole mood up. And now you just mad.
You just gotta go.
Yeah.
But what I found even in the patience, sometimes like when you think you may be late, I've learned that it's for a reason. Because you never know what could have been happening up the street.
What's going on right
God gave you that grace. Like, this is why I was late. Like, it was an accident right up the street. Had I been on time,
I'd have been right there.
Right there. Yep. So I'm learning that as every little thing, like, give grace. Okay, something going on. Like, this is why this happened. So I love that. And when you find that patience all the way, Send some my way because I'm still working on it. So my next question for you is, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, but even when you were heading down that wrong path, how much did peer influence affect your decision?
I'm a person, I like to take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So influence maybe, but I couldn't say people put me up to anything.
Okay.
But definitely the people around me. Because like I said, I ain't had no father figure at all at the time. I've been Norfolk. I ain't know none of these people. So I kind of just clinged on to the older guys, who were kind of into some things I probably shouldn't have been into. And it was just a snowball effect,
Well, you got it together now.
Yeah.
So if you think about like school, because I know you, and I'm going to put this shameless plug, he was in Gifted, all those things, y'all. So how can schools, families, and communities better support our youth? Because it's a lot of youth now. Like I even honestly, we can be transparent. Sometimes I even think about my sons. Like we don't have those positive male roles. So what would you think that like families, the community can help support those boys or young men that don't have that?
This right here, I think, right, those teachers and people in the community, they should be trained on how to deal with students like that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's a word, I don't like the term they use for it, but they call them at-risk youth. Mm-hmm. Because basically something happened throughout their growing up and they're considered bad kids. Mm-hmm. But they're not. They're just different, you know what I'm saying? Like they might get yelled at all day at home, so they come to school and they might be loud. It's because they household loud. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the communities need training on how to deal with those youth. Because people quick to label him, he's bad. He's terrible. Nah, he's just, you don't know how to understand him. But it's classes out here that teach you how to deal with those kids. Like, I don't mean to bring race or nothing into this, but it'd be like white teachers in like a predominantly black school. You're not gonna know how to deal with what they got going on at home. Exactly, because the bias, the household sometimes, and we're being transparent on the show. We're not gonna cover it up. Of course, we're not a racist show, but the truth is the truth. Yeah. Like sometimes if you don't know the different things that if you never walked in, let's say for example, if you've never been a black person or a black male in your case, sometimes you already have a bias against you just because of the way you look. Yeah. So if you're in a space, whether it's a community space or a classroom, if you have a teacher that they don't know, it's no difference than growing up, and we can use another culture. Let's say how some cultures, they don't do eye contact. And if you're not educated to that, you would think the child is being disrespectful because they're not looking at you. But you're not informed. Yeah. Right. So I like that. And as an educator myself, nowadays I'm seeing more children is like, as they say, on the spectrum or neurodivergent. And what it may look like, it may not be this a bad child. They don't have the regulation. Yeah. But if you're not an educator that understand that, you're going to label this kid as being a bad student when they're really not. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. So we got a couple of more questions. Now, this is specifically because you are a parent. So I want to ask you this question. So what signs should parents pay attention when a child may be headed down the wrong path? You think it's something we can do as a parent? See, this one, I only got one kid. And then, he's only 6. So I ain't really had been able to tell as they grow up yet. Like I can look at a teenager or like a pre-adolescent and be like, oh, hold on, he might be on the wrong path. So talk from that perspective, like as a teenager. You can recognize it, like, the way they move. Okay. They running around with their friends. Like, honestly, I think the biggest thing is people's friends. Like, you might have 4 or 5 good friends, but 2 of them friends you like probably into something else. And eventually they're going to bring it to the friend group. This is when I was a teenager. Okay. That's just how it happened. You know what I'm saying? So I know. And it's getting worse. Like nowadays, it is so hard. It's so much pressure. I'm like, I don't remember none of this when I was teenage, 19, 20. Yeah. The pressure's even down to middle school and high school. It's a lot of pressure on our children. A lot of pressure. Like, it's so much pressure. So can you, just growing up, you may not even had that, because I believe you was like a cool kid in class, so you didn't have to worry about none of that. But it's so much pressure. And I think about, I have a 15-year-old, and that's one of my biggest
fears for him is just getting in an environment with the wrong student. So if you had to speak to a 15-year-old.
Well, me, I would go out with my 15-year-old to like basketball courts and things like that, so you can peep the crowd here around. So if you do meet a friend he like here, just kind of keep an eye on him, just kind of peep him out. And then, all right, if that's your friend now, y'all hang out a couple of times, then you go see where his friend live at or something. That's what I would do. Meet the parents. Like,
so he's talking old school. People don't do that. They just be dropping off,
I'm raised old time,
picking it up.
Yeah, I'm raised old time, man. I gotta know what's going on, because like you might be a good kid, but your parents might be into something illegal. So now you're involved in that just off your good friend that I like. I like your friend. See, I feel like it's deeper. Yeah, like.
So for the people, basically what he's saying, we need to go back to where it used to be when I was a kid. Like, we need to meet the parents. Don't just leave it up to our teens saying, oh, drop me off here, drop me off there. We need to actually have the conversation, get to know the parents.
Yeah. But see, my generation, we're a little less strict. Like, yeah, y'all could go meet up at the park a couple of times. But when you tell me, yeah, I'm about to go ride with him there, or not, bring him here first. Then I'm going to meet, like, back then, now, you can't even, you want to know first time.
Exactly. And it's different now, because it's so much, with the world is so fast that parents are so quick. We got the cell phones, we got the iPads, all of these things, to where back to the communication, we're missing there. Let's have a conversation. No, little Johnny can't come stay tonight. I never met you before.
Yeah.
So yes, to get back to that. So here's another question. What support did you wish your family had during difficult times? So I guess for this question, think back to the time when you was incarcerated and you may not even had to deal with that, and you had your son. Do you feel that you got all the support you needed for your son?
Yeah, I knew he was good.
That's good.
I knew he was good.
That's good.
Yeah. Because I know it takes a village. My village strong.
All right, y'all hear that? Shout out to this village, y'all.
My village strong. I knew he was good.
Now, how can parents become a stronger part of their child's village? So I know you grew up in a great household, but even if you didn't, would you give advice? Like, for me, let's say if I have a child, I have a son as a teenager, how, I think you did mention a little bit about, like, you said get involved. Like, for my 15-year-old, I need to be at a basketball game with him. Don't just send him to the game with his friends, right?
Yeah.
So you have any other tips for the parents out here that may be having teens? Like, how can you get involved with your youth?
Yeah, I see what they like. Because most youth like sports. Okay. And the other half probably like games. Okay. That's what I see it break down into the two. So, I mean, if you like sports, just show up to his games, All
right. But if you don't like sports, so like if you're in a game, how can I get involved with the game?
Bound the good headphones and the controllers. Like, I don't know that. But for real though, if they playing the game, then they not outside. Long as they not outside running the streets, I feel like you're doing good. Like once they go outside and be out there all day long and then come in at night, that's when you kind of gotta wonder what's going on.
And now that's honestly, and that's kind of like and I always talk about my fear, because I still have young kids, so I still think about that all the time. Like, what if they go out there and they get involved with the wrong person? And I know I'm not supposed to live in fear, but it's reality.
Because I can kind of, like I noticed that.
Okay,
maybe before you would notice.
Y'all heard it, right?
Like, this is our kind of two backgrounds, I guess, because you went the studious route. I tried to, but I ended up in the streets. But I learned from the streets, so I can recognize it in my siblings now because I've lived it,
Okay.
So like my little brothers, I'll be able to notice the first day.
And that's good. That's good. So even if you think like, well, how can I help my community, my village? Like he say, if you've been down that path and you got younger men or boys or girls, look for those signs that you saw you went down. Look for those signs and intervene.
Like, not just here, even in Nana house, in their little neighborhood. Like, the little young boy in the grew up, he was like this. He grown now. Yeah. I been keeping eyes on him because I see he leading down the wrong path. So I be talking to him. Like, look,
and we need that. Like,
that's what I need.
Don't turn your head.
Yeah.
Say something.
Say something.
Okay.
School me.
So here is It's so many questions, and I know we may have to do another segment. I don't know, but I appreciate his time. So here is what I call my village wisdom. If you could leave one piece of advice for someone who may be headed down the wrong path, what would it be? Think about that teenager you just mentioned, because it may be a teenager out there that's going down that same path. What would that one piece of advice be for them?
I would say you do not want to go to prison or jail. Like that is, if you don't like your mama telling you what to do, picture every person you don't like telling you what to do. They're gonna tell you what to do, when to do it, when not to do it. Like you don't want that, bro. Trust me. So my greatest advice is, if you feel like you might get locked up, I would think again, because that same energy you putting into that, you can put into anything positive, and it's gonna flourish. That same exact energy. That's my advice. Put your energy into the right places.
So that's good. So it takes the same amount of energy to make a bad choice as it takes the same amount of energy to make a positive choice. But at the end of the day, whichever choice you make is going to be a consequence. It can be a good consequence or it can be a bad consequence.
Yeah.
And then we have people like Raquan that has been down that road. So definitely, I'm going to ask him before we close out, that way if you need to get in contact with him, it doesn't matter where you at. Like, this is all about the village. You can be in another whole state. If we can help you to avoid going down that road, being behind those bars, like you said, if you don't want the adults telling you what to do, you definitely not going to want to be anywhere where they're going to tell you when to eat, right?
Yep. When to go to the bathroom, when to wake up, when to sleep.
I don't want to imagine. So I have another question is, ooh, and this is good. Who has been the person that never gave up on you, and what would you say to them today? So I want you to look into that camera, and I want you to talk to that person. And I already know. And this, when they see this segment, they're probably going to be crying because we already know. So what is it that you want to say to them for never giving up on you?
Well, I knew Height. Never gave up on me, even when I was in the wrong. She said, "It's okay, baby. We're going to get it right this time." And I could never turn my back on her, because I'm talking from the womb since I was a baby until now I'm 31 years old. That's one person. Never gave up on me. Always kept hope. She like, "It's okay, baby. Little slip up. You gonna be all right." I said, "Yes, ma'am, Dad."
Now, I know is watching, so what do you want to tell her?
Oh, she watching?
She watching. What do you want?
Love you, Nana. I appreciate you.
Well, she's not really watching, but she's going to be watching.
She's going to be watching.
When this episode drops. So I want you to say something directly to her as we close out. What do you want to say to her?
I love you, Nana. See you soon.
Now, y'all, this has been another episode of Second Chances. Now, Raquan, before we leave, tell the people, give us a way that they can get in contact with you. Are you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Shout out, what's your Facebook handle?
It's Rocco, Rocko, Hazelwood, HAZELWOOD.
So one last thing, I know I said we was closing. What should the people be looking forward coming up from you? What you got in the near future? What you working on that's going to be coming? Because this is all about accountability, not just me, but the people that's watching. What is one goal that you're planning? It could be short term or long term. We want to be able to hold you accountable.
I currently got a food thing in the process, like a private chef, maybe food truck thing going on. It's in the mix, but I'm a chef right now, so just know you'll be eating something good, real soon.
And shameless plug, if I got anybody watching the show want to sow into our youth, because he's still considered a youth, he's under the age of 35. He said food truck, any angel investors, if that is you, you're looking to invest into the restaurant, food business, make sure you connect with this young man below this show, and as well as in this podcast. We're going to drop his bio along with his social media. Thank you so much, Raquan, for being a guest on today's show.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, every story we heard today reminds us that a mistake does not have to define a lifetime. Behind every comeback is often a village of people who choose to believe, encourage, guide, and support. That's why here at the Jour Village Show and Podcast, we exist to remind us that transformation is possible, hope is real, and success is rarely achieved alone. Thank you for joining us, and remember, it truly takes a village. I am your host, Dr. DeShonda Jennings. Until our next episode, have an amazing and blessed day. My name is DeShonda Jennings, and I teach aspiring and current home-based childcare business owners ways to sustain and grow their childcare business. What separates me from others that's doing what I currently do is not only am I teaching others how to do it, I actually do this Monday through Friday on a day-to-day basis. And another thing, by doing this for over 20 years experience that I bring to family child care specifically, is I learned how to identify revenue gaps in my business. And by identifying those revenue gaps, I was able to grow my business and sustain it at 6 figures. The reason why you should bring me on as a speaker at your next event is because I am an expert when it comes down to family child care businesses. I'm able to identify with parents because I too am a parent, have kids, elementary school, middle school, as well as high school. So when it comes down to understanding what development look like, and I'm carrying on the child care trends, meaning that I don't do things the old way. We do things as research progress. I'm doing this so I know what research has changed from how we did things a year ago or 2 years ago. And bringing me on, I'm able to show that, listen, not only am I advocating for what I believe right, I'm able to see the parents on a daily basis. I understand what it looks like not to be able to afford child care. I understand why it's so important for people to invest in childcare, because if we don't invest in childcare, there is no businesses, because we are the ones to make it to where other families can go out and work, where our big corporates can go out and work, our doctors and our lawyers. If you have kids, they need us. So you should bring me on to speak at your next event, because I'm doing this on a daily basis. I see the families. I know how this is important to them. My favorite quote is, "Too much is given, much is required." And that comes from Luke 12:48 in the King James Version. And what that quote means to me is, when God gives us skills, talents, and abilities, it's not just for us. We have to take those skills to help grow the kingdom of God. And it's not always easy, but if He gave you that gift, He gave you that skill, He's also going to give you the provision to play out that vision that He has for you.